Coach Wade, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, guys. How are you guys doing?
Good. I know that Mahmoud has seen his relationship kind of rejuvenated with the basketball program over the last couple of years. This is big news this morning to have his 35 going up in the rafters.
Yeah, it's certainly a great honor for him. It's great for our program, to be the fifth player, to have his jersey retired. He's certainly deserving of it. He still follows us. He came and talked to our team actually before we played Tennessee a couple of days before our Tennessee game this year. He came by practice. He was in town and spoke with the team, and so that was great for our guys. And he's just he's such a tremendous player. Shoot, he's you turn on the TV now, he's still getting buckets in the Big Three tournament.
Lighting them up at 50 years old. You got great stories growing up in Nashville. You were a ball boy for Vanderbilt and watching some of those Shaq teams. Do you remember Chris Jackson as a player coming up?
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, he was. I tell our guys now. When I introduced him to the team, I was basically telling him he's Steph Curry before Steph Curry. Yeah. And that's what he was. To be a first team All-American as a freshman, averaged 30 points as a freshman, averaged 29 points for your 2-year career. I mean, that's unheard of. So just a tremendous player, and certainly deserving honor, and definitely too late, but better late than never. So we're going to do a great job with the ceremony this year, and look forward to welcoming back and putting his jersey up there where it belongs.
Yeah, and was there any pushback? Because what was the rule? Like you had to graduate. Like I guess what you said it was better late than never. What took this process so long to come about?
I don't I don't know. That's outside my realm. I was certainly very, very supportive of it, and we're appreciative of the committee for pushing it through. But I think it was a team effort on a lot of folks' part from our athletic department and former coaches and former players and former teammates of his. And, it was something that needed to be done. He earned it. He deserved it. And, we're certainly glad that it happened.
Coach, I don't know if this is too early. Do you know what game maybe or when exactly the ceremony is going to go down?
They're still working on all the details for that, because we've got a couple different things this year. We've got the anniversary of Pete Maravich's breaking the scoring record.
Oh, wow.
So we got that. I think that's going to be in early February sometime, Maravich, and then we got to work on a date with for the jersey retirement.
And that's something that's always been real interesting to me, Coach, is like, so a lot of people think football when they think LSU, right? But when you look at some of the greatest NBA players of all time, like arguably like 3 top 50 guys, they're from LSU. So when you look at those jerseys, like do you ever use those kind of legends to inspire the players of today? Like how do you leverage those guys into helping out with your team?
Well, I tell people all the time, we are one. We do have 3 of the top 50 players of all time in the NBA. The only other school that has that is actually Houston.
Wow.
Based on the list that came out, and so we use that. We use our tradition. We use our history with Bob Pettit, with Shaq, with Pete Maravich, with all the with all those guys. And Rudy Macklin's still around our program. He's been by practice. He's spoken with our team, and so we got Tasman on staff. So we've had a lot of very, very good players. Garrett Temple was in the gym working out this morning, and I think he's going to be our. This will be his 10th year in the NBA. I think he's going to be our 4th or 5th guy who's played 10 or more years in the NBA from LSU. So. We've got great tradition. We've had great players, and we want to continue to do that. And I think the best predictor of future success is what's gone on in the past sometimes. And so I feel like guys understand that hey, you can get there from here.
Well, and Garrett Temple, I think we're talking to LSU men's basketball head coach Will Wade. I think Garrett Temple's interesting to bring up because he took a circuitous path to get there, right? And he continued to grind away, and now here he is on his 2nd big contract. And a cat that you had last year, Naz Reid. The draft didn't go how he wanted it. He moves into summer league. What's the latest on Nas? Have you talked to him? Where do you think his path will go from here?
I mean, he's doing great. He signed a contract into last week, 4-year deal with the Timberwolves based on his summer league play. They tore up the two-way and signed him to a contract with some guarantees in it. So he's a very, very talented player. I think sometimes people forget it. He's 18 years old.
Yeah.
And he had a very, very good year for us, and he's gonna have a long career in the NBA. He's a great person. He's a quick learner. He can pick things up quickly, which is important at that level. He can take things from a timeout to the court, which is very, very important in that level. So he's got a lot of things that will bode well for him, and he's gonna have a long NBA career himself.
You rarely see that, Coach, right? An undrafted guy before he even plays a minute in the NBA sign a 4-year deal. You rarely see that.
Yeah, you got to be pretty talented, and I think certainly once Minnesota got him and saw him and saw what they had, they realized what they had, and it's a smart, prudent move on their part.
Coach, I was crushed to see the news of Tremont Waters, and I know he's been having an excellent summer for the Celtics, but he woke up last week and found out that his father had committed suicide in a hotel room up in the Northeast. I know that you were very close to obviously Tremont and his family. Devastating news.
Yeah, it's tough. I'm tired of going to funerals. We went up there for the funeral on Saturday morning, and just a sad deal. His dad had impacted a lot of people. I mean, the mayor of New Haven spoke at the funeral, and there's a lot of kids that his dad had made impacts in their life, not just Tremont. I mean, they asked people at the service to stand up if they had been coached or trained, or Ed had helped them out. And there's probably 30 different kids that stood up, and so it was just a tough situation. Tremont handled himself tremendously well. I was very proud of him. He got up and spoke for about 15-20 minutes and just did an awesome job during a tough circumstance. So it's disappointing, but it's part of life, and we've got to be there to support Tremont. And it's like I tell our guys all the time, anybody can be there in the good times. You talk about the NBA draft and all that sort of stuff's fun to go to, but you got to be there. You got to be there for each other. You got to be there for your family when things get tough. And that's what we're about here, and that's what we do.
Third-year head basketball coach going into season 3 after winning the SEC in year 2. Coach Will Wade joining us here on Off the Bench, updating the news and the announcement from the program 30 minutes ago about Chris Jackson, formerly Chris Jackson, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, going to have his jersey retired. His number 35 will hang in the rafters for LSU basketball after his 2 seasons of accomplishments in 1989 and 1990. Last time we had you here, we talked a lot about the newcomers to your program, some of the veterans coming back, guys like Skylar Mays and Emmett Williams and Marlon Taylor. How's their summer going?
Going well. Skylar and Javante just got back actually late last night. They were at Chris Paul's camp, an elite point guard camp. And so they were both in North Carolina for the last 4 or 5 days, which was a great, good honor for them. Tremont went the year before, and I think we were the only school that had 2 guys there. Us in Kentucky were the only 2 schools that had two different players invited. So, I think they had a great experience. They learned a lot. Chris Paul is very hands-on during that camp. I mean, he gets on the court with the guys, teaches them different things, and so I thought that was a really good experience and something that Sky and Javante have both had both earned. And so, Emmett Williams has just had a phenomenal summer. He's just got a seriousness about him, and he's very, very locked into what he needs to do to continue to improve and to improve for our team. So I've been very, very pleased with Emmett.
I always go back to our Emmett Williams interview from high school where he said, before you shine, you got to grind. It seems like he's been bought in to that system since day one. A guy who's out of the system now, Coach Cavell Bigby Williams, had a really good summer with the Pelicans. What did you think about his summer league and really kind of, I guess, where he goes next?
Well, he's got some options, Exhibit 10 contracts, possible two-way contracts. Probably Exhibit 10 is a little more likely. And so I talked to him this weekend for a while, actually, as well. And so, he's continuing to train right now and see what opportunities come about. But he certainly did do a very, very good job in Summer League. I think through his first 4 games in Summer League, he was averaging a double-double.
Yeah.
And obviously Jackson Hayes is a tremendous prospect, going to be a very, very good NBA player for the Pelicans. And so, when he got back at that limited Cavell a little bit. But I think Cavell's going to have a chance. He's going to have a chance to prove himself and earn a spot, which is all you can ask for.
Coach Will Wade announcing this morning that Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, formerly Chris Jackson, will have his number retired for the LSU basketball program. Coach Wade going into season 3 with a lot of excitement around the program after the SEC championship last season. Thanks for the time this morning, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.
You got it. There
All
he
right,
is,
Coach.
checking in, Coach Will Wade.